Okay, I got 6:30. Let's call the meeting to order. Be a roll call vote. Who's present?
Tidy,
Yes.
Musselman is absent. Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
He said yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers.
Yes.
Okay. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United
to
States of
the
America,
republic
Yes.
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, on liberty and justice for all. Okay. I don't know how that went, but we need the approval of the consent agenda, which is approval of the regular meeting minutes for April 13th, invoices dated 5/6/20, and the resignation of the elementary teacher, Stephen Rubenus.
As we go through and take a look at that, we'd just like to say we appreciate the
Okay.
good
Hard to hear one.
that Steve had what we see with our district.
You have to get closer, Len.
Or turn it up.
We appreciate the hard work
The other way.
staff and to our school district.
I can't hear
Not
Lynn.
working. We're not hearing you, Len.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. We just wanted to say we appreciate the hard work and dedication Steve had to our district.
All right. I got a question because on my agenda has hire Beth Wallen for National Honor Society Advisor. Has that changed?
That's moved down to F, I'm sorry. Down
Okay.
under new business, that will be F. And G will be cross-country overnight. Sorry about that. So we got F and G added to the new business.
What was G?
G is cross-country overnight,
Thank you.
and F was Beth Wallane for the National Honor Society.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
So we just have the three items for the consent agenda. If anybody wants to make a motion to approve it.
Randy will make that motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there
I'll
a
second
second.
that.
who did we get for the second? I think a couple people.
I got Tina, but Harold, are we going to approve the agenda first?
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't do that?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Okay, we'll back up and we need a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the changes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make the
Randy will make a motion.
I'll second it.
For the changes. F and G down at
F and G.
new business.
Any more discussion? If not, roll call vote for the approval agenda.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. Now we need a motion for the consent agenda with the three items.
Well, I'll make that same motion again. Randy will. To approve the consent agenda with the three items that are presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Probably be great if we do like Randy, say who you are when we get the seconds. I think it'll help Julie. She's trying to look and see who's talking. Okay, any more discussion? If not, roll call vote for the consent agenda.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. Treasurer's report. Randy.
Treasury report for May 11th, 2020. General fund revenue, 789,353.32. General fund expenditures, 734,767.11 cents. General fund checking and savings cash flow, 1,293,526.09. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. It's down to public comment at this time. Anybody that's listening that wants to join, they can comment or put it on an email, and we will get back with the answers. Show anything on the screen at this time. Superintendent's report.
As you see there, we have a few items we want to go over. We had a great turnout last Thursday and Friday, the 7th and 8th, for our lesson packets. We greatly appreciate all the hard work our teachers put up doing that, organizing, and helping. We had a great deal of help here. And what staff continues just to plug away, just a phenomenal job of teaching our kids. For the month of April, they had over 20.
Excuse me, I'm having a hard time hearing Len.
No. Len, you're struggling again.
I'm not sure what the mic issue is with this. Can you hear me at all?
Yes,
That was
it's great.
better.
Do what you're doing right there.
All right. So, just wanted to give our lunch staff, they've been plugging away, they're doing a great job. 29,000 meals were served in the month of April. And so they're working very hard day in and day out to make sure that our kids are fed. And the other thing I just wanted to mention was the fact that we have a lot of hard work when we did the 7th and 8th. Last week when we handed out our packets by the teachers who were creating them, the staff helped organize. We had a lot of help with people distributing those things. Other than that, we are thankful the governor has opened up the outside landscaping items so that we can start hitting the outside of our buildings and working on our athletic complex, which we have not been able to do until recently. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Shar, let's go to you. Shar, we'll try you next.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. In the high school, our teachers also handed out final packets last week, came in and worked on them. I had about 10 teachers that helped clean out lockers along with Mrs. Perry and Mrs. Walleen, so that we would have those materials ready for distribution. And we had almost all staff members helped hand those out on Thursday and Friday last week. We also held virtual interviews for our English position that we have with Mrs. Zagata retiring. So we interviewed 3 candidates virtually last week with my school improvement team. And we decided that there are 2 members that we interviewed that we'd like to bring back for second interviews, which second interviews will look a little bit different because we usually have them teach a lesson. So we're hoping to do those second interviews on Wednesday of this week. We still have a tentative graduation plan for June 21st. We just don't know how that's going to look. And then this Sunday at 8:20, which is 2020 military time, 8:20 in the evening, we're going to light up the football stadium and the scoreboard to honor our 2020 graduates. This Sunday would have been their graduation date. So we're going to do that in the stadium with the stadium lights and the scoreboard. And then we'll also begin scheduling for our students for next year. So I know that Mrs. Walline is getting ready to reach out and start getting those schedules ready. We're waiting a little bit on staffing before we could do that. So we kind of have an idea what we have as far as staffing. So we're ready to start for scheduling for next year.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Any questions for Shar? Move on down to Ryan.
Well, we had our technology teacher, Blade Beckwith, our 7th and 8th grade technology teacher, take the 5th grade position. That was the position that is replacing Barb. It's an elementary certification, and it's a science. It's basically a science subject area, and he actually has a science endorsement as well. So that's great for our science department. We have about 15 more student bags. So we're trying to get those taken care of. So that's a really good number out of, close to 280 some kids. Thank you to all the staff, like Len and Shar said, a lot of people that work together to get those packets put together and all the items out of lockers and desks. So we appreciate that, everyone. And then the last thing is just an update on the Detroit trip. We're still trying to work with a few companies to get our money back to reimburse some of those kids. And then I think I said this last time, but any leftover money from like sub sales and things of that nature, we're moving it to the 9th grade. And so the kids will have that money in their account for next year. So that's what we're currently working on right now.
Okay, any questions for Ryan? JP, we'll move on to you. I caught you off guard. You're normally first and you're last today. So go ahead.
That's okay. Just to reiterate, the learning plans were a success for elementary as well. We had 50 remaining. We were able to get 15 of those 50 handed out today. Jess did a great job of contacting those parents. And I'm not sure if you guys were aware, but due to the no assessments in the spring, the 3rd grade reading law retention is not in effect this year, obviously. This was the first year where students could be retained based on their MSTEP scores. We started a kindergarten registration to get an idea of how many kindergartners would be registered for next year. And right now we have 40 registered. We don't have a roundup date scheduled yet. Obviously, we would just have to wait to get more guidance on when we could open up the schools to do that. And then we'll be interviewing on Wednesday for the kindergarten position. We had quite a few applicants apply. We will be interviewing 5 of those applicants.
That's good. Any questions for JP? Liz, we'll move on to you.
All righty. So I am, currently working on the 1920 budget, and as you can all imagine, that is rather difficult at this time because we're not sure exactly how the state's budget is going to work out, and we will know more after this Friday is the revenue consensus hearing. And so on Monday, there's quite a few different business meetings that'll be happening to work through some of that and find out, where we will be starting out at next year. So, and let's see, food service RFPs went out. We had 2 vendors that requested the RFP packet. And so I am guessing at this point that we'll probably either have 1 or 2 bids that will be turned in. Those are due on Monday, May 18th at 10 o'clock. And so we will have a bid committee meeting to review those and have something to bring to the board in June. Our transition over to Forest Area Credit Union is going well. And we had our first payroll done through Forest Area last Friday, and that went well. I did not hear any issues, so that was a good thing. And starting to work on cash flow estimate for next year of like how much we will need to borrow. Again, we'll know a little more once we know, how our revenues are going to look next year, of whether or not we'll need to maybe borrow a little more next year than we have in the last couple of years. So that is all a work in progress. So that's all I've got.
Okay, Thank you.
Welcome.
Any questions for Liz? Okay, we'll move on down to the new business. First, we need to adopt the Wexford and Misaki ISD General Education Budget. You've got all three budgets in front of you, but the only one we need to take action on is the general ed. And that will be a roll call vote after it's a resolution, I believe, for a roll call vote.
Randy will make a motion. We
I'll
adopt.
make the motion to approve, Mark.
Good job, Mark. Radio second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to adopt the Wexford and Misaki ISD General Education Budget. Roll call vote. If there's any more discussion, if not, roll call vote.
Morris,
He said yes, he just wasn't close enough.
Hicks,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Powers, Tidy,
Yes.
Yes.
Kibbe.
Yes. Is that it? Okay, move on down to review the administrative contracts, and these have to be all done separately, so we'll have lots of roll call votes. Len, do you want to talk anything on that, or we just go on to these votes?
The only thing I'm just going to add is that at this time, there will be no salary increases for any of those positions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Randy moves and we renew the administrative contract for superintendent.
Mark seconds.
okay, motion and a second. I think Randy and Mark. Do a roll call vote if there's no more discussion.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Move on down to the elementary principal, same thing.
Randy will make the motion to do the same thing. Approve the elementary principal's contract.
Mark will second.
Okay, we got a motion by Randy, a second by Mark. Roll call vote for elementary principal.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's six. We'll move down to the middle school principal.
This is Tina. I'll make that motion.
I'll second. It's Randy.
Got a motion by Tina, a second by Randy for the middle school principal. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Is this for Ryan Hiller?
Saharsky,
Yes.
and Hicks.
We're waiting on Randy for the music, or?
Yes. No, I have no music here.
We're all set. I got everybody.
Okay, sorry. Are we down to high school principal?
Yes, we are.
I'll make that
Randy will make
motion.
that motion.
Tina will second.
Okay, did you get that, Julie? I don't know what the motion was for sure.
Who made the motion?
Randy. Randy
Okay.
made the motion.
All right, I've got it.
Okay, any more discussion? Roll call.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Move down to the renewal of the central office contracts.
There's no changes, correct?
No.
Radio, make that motion, approve that?
Mark will second.
Motion by Randy and a second by Mark. Roll call.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Down to the D, the renew the transportation supervisor's contract.
Ron's gonna do another year?
Yep, one more.
Radio, approve that.
Tina will second.
Mark will second.
Like we had there first, but
I got Tina.
okay. Roll call.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Down to E, renew the athletic director / grounds contract. Looking for a
I'll
motion. for-
move that we, yeah, renew the athletic director grounds contract.
Is that Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Second.
Radio, second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Saharsky,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Is that 6? Okay, moving down to F, to hire Beth Walleen for the National Honor Society Advisor. That was recommended, I think, by Shar. Shar,
Radio, make that motion.
okay, is there,
I have a concern about what she does, if that's gonna take up too much more of her time. I know her job's pretty stressful, maybe not stressful, but there's a lot going on. Would this be too much more to put on her?
Shar,
A couple of the things that I can speak to that if you want me to. So a couple of the things that have lent itself, we did receive that grant for the college advisor, the Michigan College Access Network grant. So we've had that extra person in the building working on just the college stuff. So a lot of that, the FAFSAs and that kind of stuff has been put on the person from the MCAN. So they are handling that. And I know that this year, the person that we had there has done a really good job with that. Unfortunately, that person is leaving us. So we're getting a new MCAN person for next year. But I know that that has really helped with that. Mrs. Welling has had this position before. So she has been the NHS director or advisor in her current counseling position as well. So she's aware of the expectations of this position. It is a national organization, so everything is lined, is sent out, kind of, it's a canned program per se. There's not anything necessarily that we have to come up with as a school. Everything is sent directly to us from the National Honor Society. As this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. So I think her prior experience and all of the things that she does with academics lends her to being a good candidate for this position.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions or comments? We need a motion to hire Beth Walleen for the National Honor Society advisor.
Randy, you do that.
I've got a motion by Randy.
Is there a second?
That. Jim
Second
Morris will
by
second.
Jim.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Hicks,
Yes.
Bowers,
No.
Tidy,
Yes.
Kibbe,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Motion carried 5-1. Anything under other matters?
You got G.
Well, we have the cross country camp.
I'm sorry. I can't read my own writing. G for cross country overnight.
We
Len.
sincerely hope that we have this. I know that probably basketball and volleyball will probably come up maybe at the next meeting, whatever they do in the summer for camps and overnight trips. The trip is one that they've done before, just up in Traverse City. And like I said before, we sincerely hope that our kids will be able to participate in all of these events come fall.
So that will basically be left up to the state of Michigan then, and then your call after that.
Correct.
Okay, need a motion for the cross country overnight.
Well, I'd just like a comment that Randy would make a comment that I guess we just like to be advised of when that date would be. But I'll make that motion that we approve this.
Mark will
Second.
second.
Randy, right now, the date that's scheduled is August 16th through August 19th.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I make that motion still.
Is there a second? Anybody out there second?
Mark seconds it.
Okay, Mark seconded. We got a motion and a second for the cross country overnight. Tentative August 16th through 19th. Roll call.
Powers,
Yes.
Tidy,
Yes.
She said yes.
okay, Kibbe,
Yes. Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Saharsky,
Yes,
Hicks.
Yes.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Motion carried. Anything under other matters? Public comment. Trent, do we have anything for public comment?
There are a couple of questions that came in. The first one is from Nicole Helsel, and her question is, has the fundraiser committee had a chance to meet to discuss some options for fundraising next year? Given the abrupt end to the spring session, it may look differently. Just curious.
We haven't met as a whole, as a committee. I met with the board and they expressed what they would like earlier this year. But when we had talked about that, it was later in the fall. And so we couldn't implement that for the whole year. the board had talked about basically doing one, basically a thon type thing, and then a selling of one item. But we have not moved forward with anything since then. It's still on the agenda to discuss.
All right, there's one more question. Actually, there's a couple other comments. One other comment from Nicole Helsel is, will the middle school technology position be posted?
It will be at this time. We just are holding off for a little bit to see how things are looking, but that is the plan at this point.
All right, and this is from Shelley Ritchie. Not sure if it was mentioned, but we are planning to continue meal service with deliveries and drop-off until June 30th. We'll wait for the state guidance on the summer feeding to see what it will look like in July.
Thank you. Anything else? Any announcements, Len?
Just that I will be meeting at some point. I don't know if it'll be before the next board meeting or not, but I'll get with Candy, Matt, and Mark, who are on the finance committee, just to go over things before the budget so we can go into that with everybody understanding where we're at.
Okay, we need a motion to adjourn and a roll call on that.
Make that motion.
Radio second.
Did you get that, Julie?
Yes, I did.
Okay, roll call.
Tidy.
Yes.
Kibbe.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Saharsky.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Powers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thanks, folks.